Hello, hello, hello. Happy Wednesday. Oh my gosh. Happy new October. It is a new month. It is a new quarter. We are doing wild things over here. I've been talking to so many of you who have been submitting applications for the Empowered AF Coach Certification Program. And this one question keeps coming up. So I definitely want to let you know what's the big difference between therapy and coaching? It's the $1 million question, right? Because I think so many of us feel and want to help other people, but think that we're not qualified enough or think that there's some really high bar that we have to cross in order to actually be able to help other people change not just their relationships with alcohol, but also how to ignite their dreams and their passions and go after what they really want in life, which is what you're going to get qualified to certified to do. And so when we really look at therapy and coaching, there's not like one that's better than the others. They're completely different fields. They have obviously similarities, but they're actually completely different fields. And what I mean by that is I used to work at a university, so when you have a field, you have academic study behind it. You have conferences around it. You have research papers around it. You have clinicians who are working in that field or practitioners who are working in that field. And so, coaching and therapy are completely different fields with their different academics, their different researchers, their different conferences and all that kind of stuff. And they're both legitimate fields. So, I want to make sure that you know that coaching isn't just something that's like little airy fairy over here and that therapy is the real deal, right? They're actually both very strong academic fields. So, for example, when I worked at a university, a really top private university in San Diego, they had a whole arm of a coaching leadership program, and people could get their master's in coaching there. And they had professors that taught you that kind of stuff. Like it's its own really beautiful field. And what are the origins of these two fields? So, the therapy really comes from the traditional psychology that really started in the early 1900s of that really recognizing like some people have like really massive mental problems, some people have actual mental disorders, illnesses, some people obviously it kind of morphed into more of us having anxiety and depression and all this kind of stuff. But the original form of therapy and this kind of psychotherapy was like, how can we help people who have mental issues and disorders heal and kind of come up to like a baseline? Coaching didn't come from that. Coaching comes from a totally different origin story. Coaching actually comes from the business world, and it comes from, we've had like some form of mentorship and coaching maybe for like 100 years, but really it comes from the 70s. And in the 70s, in the business world, people were asking, how do we motivate people to actually fulfill their fullest potential? How do we get people to achieve goals? How do we, really have increase people's performances, right? So coaching comes out of that business world and a lot of athletics as well. So in the long time up until like really recently, maybe even just like the last like 10 years, even 5 years or so, it was really abnormal for someone to have a coach unless you were an athlete or you were a business owner or leader of some sort, like a CEO or something like that. That's what coaches really, are there for. And think of just like a sports coach, it helps you play better. It doesn't mean that you're bad if you have a coach, right? If you're an athlete, the coach helps you play even better. It increases your performance, it increases your goals, it increases your mindset. They help you visualize so you can see your future. And so that's where really coaching was born in the 70s, and it's really grown so much as, first it was just like life coaching and stuff, and now we have all these different subsets of coaching that can help you with relationships, that can help you with career, that can help you with changing your relationship with alcohol, that can help you achieve your business goals, that can help you launch a business, that can help you do so many things, improve your health, all this kind of stuff. And really, when you look at the bigger difference between therapy and coaching, and a lot of people that are actually therapists also wear a coaching hat sometimes, or also offer coaching services to their clients because it is a little different. So, therapy is something around healing your mental health, healing anxiety, depression, healing any other mental disorders like, bipolar, schizophrenia, any of those kinds of things. And it's always been about a focus on the past. How can we help heal and understand the past so that we can really, live more peacefully with the present, right? And that's why we unearth traumas in therapy. And that's why you go back to your childhood so much in therapy. And it's really all about making sense of that past and making a different sense of meaning and really enabling you to change the way you think about it. Now, coaching is different. Coaching is all about who you want to become. Coaching is a lot about the future orientation of your life. So it's like, what goals do you want to achieve? Who do you want to be in 5 years? What do you want to make out of your life? And obviously sometimes the past comes up too. It's not like the past is off limits or something when you're working with a coach, but it's so much more of like rising to the next level. Instead of healing the past and getting to here, it's like you're here and like let's rise to the next level. So a lot of people who want to really improve their lives in beautiful ways hire coaches. And for a long time, like I said, it was really something for only like the most richer people, only for people who were like star athletes had coaches. And now it's being so much more mainstream. And I also get this question a lot too, like, well, if I want to help someone change their relationship with alcohol, can I really do that as a coach? Like, don't I need to be like a therapist or a social worker and stuff like that? And it's really fascinating to recognize that I've worked with social workers and therapists, and they don't really necessarily learn anything about helping someone change their relationship with alcohol. They either refer someone to like recovery based programs, or they might help them like deconstruct or talk about it, but not like the proper training to actually know the more modern way to help someone change their relationship with alcohol. And the thing is that so many people are blocked by alcohol. So many people would achieve their bigger goals and dreams or have so much more health or more vitality if alcohol wasn't a regular habit in their lives. So it's not like we have to talk always to the person who is the most chemically dependent on alcohol, right? There's so many other people that are in that kind of gray area middle ground who want to make changes with that relationship with alcohol, and they're not primed for like a rehab. They're not primed for a recovery situation. They're not primed for all of those kinds of things because they haven't hit that rock bottom. Alcohol isn't consuming all their lives, but they still have something to work on there. And I think that's what's really brilliant about really recognizing how much this alcohol-free movement is growing, is that there's so many more people reevaluating alcohol from all different kinds of backgrounds, all different kinds of drinking habits, all different kinds of life situations. It's not just the person who's drinking vodka on the side of the street anymore, right? It's everybody's kind of reevaluating alcohol in their lives, especially when they are, really wellness focused, especially if they're interested personal development. The sober curious movement has kind of spread so much now in our popular culture. The dry January phenomenon is so big and so huge now. And so it's just going to show that more and more people are interested in changing the way they relate to alcohol. They know they feel better when they don't drink, but they still want to drink. So something there internally, mentally has to change. Now, what is also the difference between a therapist and a coach? So not all coaches learn how to do this, but I really think it's a disservice when you don't know how to do this. A coach helps you reprogram your mind. They help you reprogram your mind so that you're more successful and you can let go of some of the blocks that are holding you back. And so we have to understand that our mind has been programmed by society, it's programmed by our past experiences, it's programmed by the things our teachers, our parents, our caregivers told us, it's programmed by the things that we picked up as limiting beliefs as well. So there's limiting beliefs that are more personal, and then there's global beliefs where like the whole world believes something that's super limiting, and we feel really held back. So imagine just for a second that you grew up in the medieval times. Like you're the same person, but you were in the medieval times. Think of how different you would operate in the world because some of those global beliefs that would be very much instilled into you. So you'd probably be super superstitious. You'd never wash your hands. You'd probably be really religious, but mostly out of fear, right? And so we can see that when we grow up in a certain time and place, we absorb the global beliefs of the society around us. And so a coach's job is to help you reprogram your mind. There's no right or wrong answer, when it comes to almost anything in your life, unless you're following your intuition. Some other person's way might not be your way. And that's what a coach is really adept at doing, is to pull out your beautiful intuition and your wisdom. I just have to wave hello to everybody who's here today. I'm so excited to see you, Peggy. Amazing. I'm so glad you're here. Peggy's an amazing coach, you guys. And what's so phenomenal about really learning these skills is that you can learn to reprogram someone's subconscious mind so that they're no longer defaulting to what was instilled in childhood or when they were, in high school, or the things that global society or their parents have told them. They're actually choosing their own intuition to know how to live their life. And what that looks like could be changing the relationship with alcohol. We have so many subconscious beliefs that are instilled into our brain that tell us that alcohol is necessary to live a sophisticated, glamorous, relaxed life. And so we have to be able to change those at the subconscious level if we actually want to have some substantial change there and help someone lose their desire to drink. And if you're someone who hasn't done this yet and you still feel like, oh yeah, I still like am pulled to alcohol, it's so cool to do this work on yourself first, right? It's so cool to first reprogram your own subconscious mind around alcohol so that you lose your desire. It's a process, I'm not gonna lie. It's not something you do overnight and it's just gone. It's like a month by month process, could even take up to a year, but it's really, really fascinating to do that for yourself first. But if you're already alcohol free, I know some of you joining, you're like 4 months alcohol free, 6 months, a year, whatever it is. what I think is really cool is like, how can I do that for someone else now? How could I actually change someone else's subconscious desires to drink? And that's what I love about the Empowered AF Coach certification is you learn the in-depth process in order to do that. But the thing is that it doesn't really end there. You know, when you are working with someone as a coach, you are helping them in every element of their life that they are comfortable speaking about. So, you know, they're trying to become a better version of themselves in their careers, in their parenting, in their relationships. And what I find most often is that, like, really finding that answer, that subconscious programming versus my intuition, right? It's like two things we listen to. I either listen to logic, which is actually just our subconscious programming from long ago, or I listen to my heart. That when we remove alcohol from our lives, so many of us have that desire to actually do something better and different with our lives. That we actually want to have different careers, or we want to make an impact, or we want to make more money, or something comes alive in us to say, this job over here isn't my purpose. So imagine as you step into that and you really acknowledge that for yourself as a coach yourself, how many other clients you'd work with as well who decide to ditch alcohol and want to find their deeper purpose as well, want to find deeper meaning, want to find deeper fulfillment. And that's what a coach can really help you to do, is not only remove the blocks that are telling you you could never make money from your passions, you could never like do something different, you could never launch a business, all that chatter that's such like BS and such lies. A coach also helps them implant those future goals in order to implement them, right? A coach sees that anything is possible for you. And I know there's some really good therapists out there, right, that are already operating like this, but traditionally, the way the field has been structured over just historically, that's not really the role of a therapist. A therapist doesn't really believe you can do anything you want on the planet, you know, right? They're there, like, obviously wanting to improve your mental health and to improve the stories that you're telling yourself and really heal the past and the traumas that you've gone through. But a coach is like your biggest cheerleader. A coach actually sees, like, you know what? Of course you could quit your job. Of course you could ditch alcohol. Of course you could make money off your dreams. Of course you could heal your relationship. Like, if you are working with someone who doesn't believe all those things for you, then you're not working with the right coach, right? Because a coach will stand in your corner and be the one who is your hype squad and truly believes that anything is possible for you. And we actually study this in the certification program. It's called the Rosenthal effect. And the Rosenthal effect basically says that whatever you as a mentor expect out of another person, if you expect someone's going to succeed, they're that much more likely to succeed than if you expect them that they're going to fail. So it goes to show that statistically, when you have like random controlled studies, like literally this has been studied scientifically over and over again, that if just that variable alone is different, when you are working with a mentor or coach who does expect and believes in your power to succeed, you're that much more likely to actually succeed at whatever it is you're doing, whether you want to ditch alcohol, whether you want to, you know, start a business, whether you want to, you know, like become more magnetic, more fierce, more visible, whether you want to, you know, really get over limiting beliefs and be able to live the kind of travel lifestyle you want to. Like, it's so imperative to understand that that's the role of a coach. And I am so interested in knowing kind of where you are. We actually are launching our Empowered AF Coach certification. It starts October 18th, our fall round. And Ariana says, what if we start drinking again and want to stop? Which program, Carolina? I recommend you look into Become Euphoric. This is a program that's running. You can join right now if you wanted to, honestly, and you will get 4 months of reprogramming your subconscious mind so you lose your desire to drink. I think that would be really, really good for you, and you get the support and the community and all of these theories that we use in the certification program, like in action on yourself, which is really, really cool to go through. And if you're interested in helping other people not only change their relationship with alcohol, reprogram their mind for success, you know, really believe in anything is possible for themselves, help them really grow as a person into the version of themselves that they want to become, I definitely recommend checking out the Empowered AF Coach certification. It is, you guys, the only alcohol-free designation in the world that certifies you with 5 different certifications. So you graduate as a mindset coach. You graduate as an alcohol-free life coach. You graduate as a success coach. You graduate as a neuro-linguistic programmer. You graduate as a hypnotherapist practitioner as well. So you actually get 5 different certifications when you join. Then we come together and we have a Palm Springs retreat. So it's a 4-day retreat in Palm Springs. And this is when we learn to embody the most successful, impactful version of yourself. And that is all covered in your tuition. So the lodging, the food, the training, every part of it other than the flights is literally included in your tuition. And then we go on more for 5 more months in our business mastermind, where you learn how to grow and launch a boutique coaching company so that you are able to, really start your career and become successful. So whether you are someone who like knows they have a bigger purpose, knows that their 9 to 5 office job is not for them forever, and really wants to do something you love and help people and really be able to move someone to that next level, there's literally nothing more fulfilling. I'm obsessed with coaching. I honestly, without a doubt, think it's the best career in the world. I know I'm biased, but that's what I just think. If you really want those things, and this kind of career that not only gives you that sense of impact and fulfillment, but also that really truly can give you some freedoms that you're looking for. It takes a little bit to get up and running, obviously, but imagine having that freedom of time to decide your schedule in your day. Imagine having the freedom of location. I just got off a call with another group of coaches. Everyone is around the world traveling whenever they want, right? I do the same thing. Like, I literally have freedom of location. I can work from Bali, I can work from Mexico, I can work from wherever I want to, right? The freedom of like really being able to work on what you want to work on, and let your creativity grow your business as you have new ideas for offers and new ideas for programs and new ideas for marketing. Like, it's so brilliant. I think when you marry the impact and the freedom together, oh, to me, it's just what I love so much about this. And I think when we already started with this stream, I know so many of you are already like out there sharing about the alcohol free lifestyle, or you're really like, you've maybe got certified a long time ago, but you never used your certification. Or, for example, you are certified in something else, but not the alcohol free yet. I think that's really imperative to understand that sometimes we won't have the confidence and the competence to show up until we get qualified. So sometimes that imposter syndrome isn't just something that's always holding us back. Sometimes we really do need to learn how to create these transformations for other people. And so I knew in my heart, I want more of us out there. Like, there's so many people that are struggling with their relationship with alcohol. There are so many people who aren't happy with their jobs. There are so many people who are unhealthy, unfulfilled. We need more leaders. Like, truly, they say that AI is going to change the world because it's going to help people improve their mental health, because there's so many more people that need help than people who get it. And right now, there's actually 13 million doctors in the world. And do you know how many certified coaches there are? Less than 150,000. Like, that's insane. So if you're telling yourself it's too saturated or what, it's such a BS story. Like, there's so many more people that want the help than are people available to help them. And so if you are thinking about, helping other people, but you've always been blocked by this idea that you have to be, a board certified therapist, and you have to go back to school for 10 years and you have to do all this stuff. Obviously, if that's your goal, that's your dream, then go for it. But I think what most people don't understand is that coaching is an entirely different field in its own right, that was born out of the business world, that has its own academics and research and conferences. My, private university used to have a really top-notch coaching and leadership school. And that coaching is often a much quicker avenue to actually help people, because you could graduate with a certification within 5 months and already start practicing with clients. And in my program, we also teach you like, what's your purview, right? So like, when do you need to refer out? When is it time to say like, actually, I think you should work with a psychotherapist? So you're not like blurring any boundaries or anything like that. You have a really strong code of ethics. You really understand how to work with trauma protocols as well. I think that's important when you're looking to get certified as a coach. It's really important to find a program that's trauma sensitive. And what that means is that they're not going to train you necessarily to be a therapist to deal and unpack the trauma. They're going to understand what to look out for and how to navigate and where to refer and all that beautiful stuff, so that you're in your lane, it's nice and clean, but you can also help so many more people as a result of it. And what I think is really incredible too is a big difference between therapy and coaching. Maybe this will change in like a decade, but right now, a lot of therapists see people just locally, because it's just whoever can come to their office. It's just the hour by hour that they see people. You have like maybe 8 appointments a day. It's a really pretty busy day when you're a therapist. Whereas a coach works online, right? A coach can see someone from all around the world. A coach can see people one on one, but they also can grow their business in order to do one to many, which means that you can have group programs and masterminds and group coaching where you can really spread your message to the world. I see a lot more coaches writing books. I see a lot more coaches hosting conferences and summits. So it's like this model that allows you to actually reach more people, which is really, really cool, because, at the end of the day, like, changing just one life is phenomenal, but I think we're here to make an impact and have a really big scale and a really big reach so that we can really truly feel like my gift wasn't wasted. So if you have grown in any way, if you have grown and really changed your life, you have to recognize that you have a gift to share. And I have a mentor who likes to say it's almost as if your transformation is this batch of brownies that you baked, and you had one brownie and it was so yummy and you changed your whole life because of this brownie. But the thing is you can't eat more than one brownie, right? Without being sick, you can't eat more than one brownie. And you have this whole dozen of brownies, you only ate one. What are you going to do with the other 11 brownies? Are you going to waste them, right? And so it goes to show that if you've changed your life, if you've changed your relationship with alcohol, if you've transformed in any way that's super different from the past version of you, you have a gift. You have grown so much. And there's a version of you out there, a past version of you who doesn't have this skill set yet, who doesn't have these tools, who hasn't had this transformation, and who hasn't had that growth. And so I believe it's almost like our moral imperative to turn around and share back to the version of us behind us, the woman behind us, right? And the thing is like I've done this so many times with helping people change their relationship with alcohol because I substantially really changed my subconscious programming. I lost my desire to drink. I've never wanted to have a drink ever since I did that. It was like magic where the desires just disappeared. And that's why I knew I had to teach this to other people. But I've also grown a successful coaching company. And trust me, I've made a lot of mistakes. So I go over those too. I've grown a successful coaching company. I've written a best-selling book. I've helped so many people change their lives. Now I know that the brownies that I have to share aren't just helping someone change their relationship with alcohol. I have so much growth, so much knowledge on how to grow a successful coaching business. And who am I to waste that knowledge and throw it in the trash? I have to share it, right? I'm not going to gatekeep. It is literally my purpose on this planet to share that. And the thing is that you could think of it as like, well, Carolina, why would you want other alcohol-free coaches out there so that they'll compete with you? I don't think in those terms. I know that the more of us that there are, the more leaders, the more people who are helping people out there, the more the world changes, the more it changes for our future generations. If you have kids or you want to have kids, like their lives will be so different because of the work that we did today. And I really think it's a beautiful thing to honor that desire in yourself and honor that you do want to make this impact. You do want to help people change their lives. You do want to feel qualified. You do want to have these transformational tools at your disposal. If you're already a coach, you want to learn how to help people change their relationship with alcohol, or maybe you want to learn our advanced strategies on NLP and the subconscious mind. And I would love to invite you into our Empowered AF Coach Certification Program. We are almost full for our fall class, so we are accepting just a few more applications. You can submit at becomeeuphoric.com/certification. It's also in the link in my bio. But this is the program that is, I promise you, going to change your life. There's only a few alcohol-free coaching certifications out there. Most of them that are out there are like revolve around like 12-step and recovery. And if that's not your jam, like it's not mine, there's literally only 2 to 3 out there that will help you become qualified in this area. And so I want you to have these tools at your disposal. I want you to have the business training from the get-go. I want to meet you in Palm Springs and like literally embody a completely new reality with you. And it would be just an honor and a privilege to help you become a world-class coach who has 5 certifications under her belt, knows what she's doing, knows how to change lives, knows how to market, can grow a successful coaching business, and start to see the fruits of your labor over time. Now, I'm not going to lie, the first year I became a coach, I made $7,000. So I didn't like replace my, day job income overnight, right? It does take some time. But the second year, I made $100,000. And then I kept growing and growing and growing. So it's not a get rich quick scheme, right? It takes hard work and dedication, and you want to love what you're doing. But it truly is one of those beautiful, beautiful fields that is available to us today that didn't used to exist, that wasn't available for our mothers and our grandmothers, and that today we can become coaches and help people change their lives in literally a matter of months instead of spending years to go back to therapy school, and that we be treating completely different types of people. I actually work with a couple therapists who are adding coaching into their into their, businesses, because they want to focus more on the future, because they want to focus more on growth with their clients instead of some of those mental issues that I talked about earlier. So if you just came into our live, it's so good to see you. Do rewatch if you just came in so that you understand the fundamental differences between therapy and coaching and where you fall into that. This will be posted obviously on my grid or in the Facebook group if you're watching. If you'd like to have a conversation with me about becoming a coach or getting recertified, if you've already gotten certified a long time ago but you've never really used it, or you want to add the alcohol free or the NLP to your current coaching skills, I think it's going to make such a big difference for your career, your level of autonomy. Really feeling like you know how to create these transformations for people is the biggest difference in how confidently we market and show up. When we don't feel confident in the transformations we give our clients, we don't market very well either, right? So they go hand in hand. And that's why I have so many people asking me, can I business coach them? Can I help them grow and launch their businesses? And I'm like, you know what? I think there's some more fundamental coaching skills we need to learn first so that you can become really confident in that area. And then the second half of the program is literally all about the business training and all about getting you literally to become a zone of genius around marketing and selling and showing up online and building an audience that really, really knows you, likes you, trusts you, and then loves to get into your offers. So I hope that was a good clarity between the difference between therapy and coaching, and really knowing in your heart that you do not need to go back to school for 10 or whatever years to become qualified to help other people. Like, we are literally changing the world. There's so many people who we can help right now that need your help, that are looking for someone to like be real with, that they relate to your story. They're not homeless on the side of the road. They relate to you. They relate to what you've gone through. They relate to what you care about, right? This like spectrum in the middle in that gray area are the people who really, really are looking into coaching. And I think it's so fundamental to recognize that we need to step up into leadership, not only to fulfill our dreams, but also the destiny of helping the people we're meant to help. Because I really do believe you were born on this planet and the universe or God said to you, you're meant to help this many people in your lifetime. And it's like, let's get on that. Let's get on that purpose. Let's go. So Alcohol Free Advantage asks, is there an abbreviated program if you don't want to own the business or market it and just want to coach under someone else as a business associate coach part-time? So we don't right now split up the program because the business side is just as important as the coaching side. Even if you want to work under another coach, you still have to learn how to sell your services to other coaches. So even though it's not a B2C marketing model, it is a B2B marketing model. And what that means is business to business. And so that's really important for you to understand, that you're still building a brand and a reputation as someone who does work in other people's programs. But I'd love to hear from you. If you want to get on an interview, we could talk about how you could do that. I could give you some ideas about how to get started with that. And I think it is really brilliant to get started there, because who knows, you might get the desire to launch your own business after a year of doing that because you already have the skills and the competence, and why the hell not, right? Why the hell not? Okay, awesome. If you guys have any questions on the program, what we do is we have a little application so that you can submit your application and then answer a few questions so that I get just an understanding of like where you are, what your goals are. And then we get into a little 20-30 minute call together so I can really get to know you. I will give you my best tips on wherever you are to move forward, and I'll let you know if the certification is the right fit for you. I'll also share all about the program for you and answer any questions, like specific, unique questions that you might have. And trust me, I never forget a face. So even if we interview and you don't end up joining the program, I will be rooting for you forever. And I'd love to promote your work and help you out with that. But I can't do that if you don't submit an application. So be sure to do that. That's so incredible that, how we were connected by the universe. I loved hearing these stories about how we were first connected, or how someone, you heard of me or anything like that. I know we're always in the right place at the right time. You're here for a reason. You're here because you're meant to grow and lead. And, really taking and claiming that purpose is such a beautiful thing. So I can't wait to hear from you. Have a beautiful rest of your day. I hope this video was helpful. If you just joined us, do be sure to watch from the beginning. It'll be reposted on my grid so you can really understand those fundamental differences and where you lie, and really being able to, take up the mantle of leadership and help other people.